Imagine this. For years, South Africa's lights flickered out in a predictable rhythm of despair. Load shedding stages 2, 4, even 6 turned dinner plans into candlelit guesses and factories into idle ghosts. The economy bled trillions, families rationed fridge raids, and ESKOM became the national punching bag. Then, poof! 9 months without a single outage. A profit after a decade of red ink. Relief? Absolutely. But scroll past the headlines and you'll find a payroll that's ballooning faster than your electricity bill. In a nation grappling with stagnant growth and job cuts, ESKOM's story isn't just a comeback. It's a mirror to the messy trade-offs of revival. What if saving the grid means overpaying the guardians? ESKOM's fiscal year ending March 2025 marked a seismic shift. A 16 billion rand profit after tax, flipping a 55 billion rand loss from the prior year. Is this all just smoke and mirrors? Or is it really the payoff of a generation recovery plan that somehow boosted the energy availability factor to 70%, slashing unplanned outages and, crucially, diesel costs by 16.3 billion rand? No more guzzling emergency fuel in open cycle gas turbines. Coal plants hummed reliably for the first time in ages. What's fascinating here isn't just the numbers, it's the human element. CEO Dan Morikane credits his 42,000 strong team for this turnaround, crediting their focus amid chaos. Load shedding days dropped from 329 to a mere 13, sparing the economy an estimated 2.3 trillion rand in losses compared to 2023. Yet, as Morikane himself notes, this stability came at a human cost during the build-up. Grueling shifts, technical wizardry, and sheer willpower. He said, "The focused and ongoing efforts of ESKOM's 42,000 employees in delivering the turnaround strategy have produced tangible results. In 2024, economic losses were reduced by 83% to 481 billion. But here's the counterintuitive kicker. In a country where power cuts were synonymous with poverty, this profit feels like a national exile. It proves state-owned giants can pivot without privatization fairy dust. But the question lingers. At what price does reliability become sustainable? Now, here is where the plot thickens. Amid the cheers, ESKOM's average employee cost hit 870,000 rand per year. That's nearly triple the South African norm of around 300,000 rand. That is not a typo. It's a 976% surge from the 38,000 rand per person in 1990. Employee expenses jumped 8 billion rand last year alone, fueled by a 7% salary hike. There were 1,400 new hires and bonuses for hitting generation targets. But why does this all matter? It's not envy, it's economics. ESKOM's wage bill now rivals its diesel savings, inflating tariffs that households already strain under. Now, some call it a bloat, a relic of cadre deployment and union clout in a post-apartheid utility meant to uplift, not overcompensate. Yet, defenders argue these pay scales retain scarce engineers in a sector plagued by brain drain. In a nation with 32% unemployment officially, rewarding the few who keep the lights on feels just, until you factor in the 94.6 billion rand municipal debt choking cash flow. Provocative? Absolutely. If ESKOM's profits hinge on elite talent, does overpaying them justify the bill passed to everyday South Africans? Or is it a symptom of a system where fixing the grid means fattening the insiders first? And here's where the story gets even more layered. ESKOM's turnaround didn't happen in a vacuum. Since 2008, the utility has swallowed a staggering 496 billion rand in government bailouts by 2025. Funds drawn straight from taxpayer pockets. For the 2025 financial year alone, 76 billion rand flowed under a 3-year debt relief program, part of the broader ESKOM Debt Relief Act of 2023 that earmarked 254 billion rand, that's about 5.5% of GDP, to ease the company's crushing debt burden. This isn't just accounting sleight of hand, it's a direct infusion that slashed interest payments and freed up cash for operations. Without it, that 16 billion rand profit might have evaporated into another loss. Recall the 55 billion rand deficit the year prior, exacerbated by separation costs for the National Transmission Company. The debt relief effectively converted loans into grants, buoying the balance sheet and enabling the swing from red to black. But there are those who would dub it a triple tax. Bailouts on top of rising tariffs and new surcharges, all while ordinary South Africans foot the bill amid economic stagnation. Hold on, let me read this. South Africans are being forced to hand money over to ESKOM multiple times with taxpayer-funded bailouts, high tariffs, and new unavoidable fees. The reflection? This bailout bonanza highlights a counterintuitive truth. Profits in state-owned enterprises often mask deeper dependencies. It bought time for recovery, but at what cost to fiscal health? With national debt climbing and growth forecasts limp, is this a genuine revival or just deferring the inevitable reckoning for taxpayers? When we zoom out, ESKOM's win feels like a solo spotlight on a dimming theatre. The rand clings to stagnant levels of around 18 rand to the dollar, battered by global jitters and domestic debt. Just last month, Ford announced 474 retrenchments at its Silverton and Struandale plants, blamed on UK tax tweaks, reclassifying pickups as luxury rides. Bucky is a luxury ride. That's 474 families hit in an auto sector already reeling from EV shifts and supply chain snarls. Mining and energy strains compound the pain. The problem: coal output dips amid environmental pushback, while renewables lag in rollout. Business Tech dubs ESKOM's profit a rare positive, but with GDP growth limping at 1.2% forecasts, it's a fragile bright spot. Government debt relief slashed to 50 billion rand in loans this year buoyed the balance sheet. But at 103.5 billion rand in August, municipal arrears, ESKOM's CFO warns of a 300 billion rand nightmare by 2030. So what's the analysis? This contrast exposes South Africa's fragility. One entity's revival can't outrun systemic woes. ESKOM's diesel savings echo Ford's export woes. Global ripples hit local jobs hard. It's a reminder that energy security is table stakes. Without broader reforms, profits are just a pause button on decline. ESKOM's arc from blackout villain to profitable phoenix offers hope, but only if we confront the underbelly. High salaries underscore the talent war in critical infrastructure, yet they risk alienating the public, footing the tariff bill. Amid rand woes and factory layoffs, this profit isn't a panacea. It's a pivot point demanding ruthless efficiencies, like tackling municipal deadbeats and fast-tracking unbundling into generation, transmission, and distribution arms. So, what is the impactful takeaway? Revival isn't linear. It's a ledger of wins and warnings. South Africa traded diesel desperation for wage debates. But the real test is scaling this stability without repeating past blunders of mismanagement and corruption. As tariffs tick up and jobs hang in the balance, one question haunts. Can ESKOM's green shoots root deep enough to pull an entire economy from the brink? Or will the payroll paradox dim the lights all over again? If you have any thoughts, please add them to the comment section. And if you found any value in this video, please do like, share, and subscribe. And I will catch you in the next one.